Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's strategy of the week titled Chance Favors the Prepared Mind. My name is Jerry D'Ambrosio and it's my pleasure to present tonight's strategy for you this evening. The past month has certainly provided us with enough ups and downs which I'm sure has resulted in you wondering what to do. The market is showing signs of instability and the time is at hand to at least start preparing for a downturn. Now, we have no idea what's in store over the next few weeks, but we certainly have enough information to get us ready for whatever the market decides to do. Let's move into VectorVest and take a look. I'm going to move us from the home page to a market timing graph, and we're simply looking at the VectorVest composite over the last 3 months. You'll notice as of right now, right around 2:30 p.m. on Friday, the VectorVest composite is about $18.35. If I look back almost 4 weeks ago on March 4th, you'll notice that the VVC closed at $18.37. So the market has virtually moved sideways over the last month. Sure, we've had some ups and downs along the way, but the VectorVest composite price currently is just about where it was 4 weeks ago. If I check the MTI, we'll notice that the MTI 4 weeks ago was at a level of 1.26, but it has steadily fallen over the last month and is currently below 1 at 0.99. Buy to sell ratio, same thing. 4 weeks ago on March 4th, it was above 1 at 1.12, crossed below 1 a few days later, and is currently at a very low level of 0.49. And the relative timing of the VectorVest composite on March 4th was above 1 as well at 1.06, and it has steadily fallen over the last 4 weeks, currently at 0.98. So what are some of the things that are going through your minds currently? Well, you're thankful that the market hasn't collapsed along with all of our market timing indicators, but at the same time, you're in a holding pattern wondering what is going on. Let me show you a little sideshow I've been watching this week. I'm going to move us from the market timing graph into the Derby. Now, these SOTWs aren't just thrown together on Fridays. We put a lot of thought and effort into presenting relevant information. So I started by looking at the Derby tote board over the same time frame that I showed you on that market timing graph. We're looking at 19 trading days from March 4th to current March 28th. Notice that the best performing searches, if I scroll over to the right here, you could see that we're sorted by total percent gain loss, and we're currently looking at the day trading mode. The best performing searches over the last 4 weeks are all shorting searches, sector peak short /CA. Now the only difference between these two searches is the minimum price requirement. Show me the money short, crash landers, ballistic new highs short, sinking sectors, last hurrah, and so on. You can see most of the top performing searches are all short. Not only are all of the best performing searches bearish, let's take a look at the Derby summary, which breaks down the performance of both bullish and bearish searches. Over the last 19 trading days, only 22% of the bullish searches are making money, while 67% of the bearish ones are winners. That is a glaring contradiction, really, of what we'd expect to see here, given that the market has gone nowhere over the last 4 weeks. We'd expect to see this more neutral rather than the clear bias that we have with the bearish searches. And there is a common denominator with these top searches. They all find overextended stocks that have just begun to crash. Let's take a look. I'm going to move us to the Unisearch tool, and here we're looking at sector peak short as of right now 2:35 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to graph the top 10 stocks, and this is exactly what we generally see with these type of searches. IFPA had a great run over the last several months, recently hit a high on March 6th of $18.25, and has begun to sharply fall just recently, crossing below its 40-day simple moving average. And if I just scroll through a few of these, you're going to get the same idea here. Now this one, CCA, hasn't begun its downtrend yet. It looked like it started to recently, but has recovered nicely. MFC moving sideways, but over the last few days has begun to fall sharply. And here's CAM, same situation that we saw with the first stock. Had a really nice run up, hit a high of $15.48, and has begun to fall sharply, also crossing below its 40-day moving average. So there are a few things that may be going on here. Either investors are running out and shorting these stocks, or the investors that have been in during this nice run up are beginning to take profits off the table. While there's no way to know for sure what's going on, I'm tending to lean towards the latter. They're booking profits, which is driving the prices of these stocks down. Well, if they're taking profits off the table, where is that money going? Because it sure doesn't look like it's staying on the sidelines, right? If it were staying on the sidelines, the market would likely be heading into a clear downtrend, and that's just not the case right now. Let's move back into the Derby. I'm going to close out of the graph, click on the Derby tab. I'm going to close the Derby summary for now. Now we're looking at the day trading mode. Let's change this to the vary the start date mode, which essentially runs quick test after quick test on every subsequent day after March 4th. If I close the Derby summary just for a moment and click on Sector Peak Short, you'll notice we have quick tests from March 4th to current, the 5th to current, the 6th to current, and so on. And this mode, vary the start date, allows us to better identify the efficacy or robustness of a search as opposed to looking from one point to another. However, we have the same searches for the most part at the top of the list. Sector Peak Short, Show Me the Money Short, Last Hurrah, Crash Landers, Vern's Vultures, which is another shorting search that finds overextended stocks. If I open up the Derby summary, you have almost 20% of the bullish searches making money with 58% of the bearish searches. So there's a clear bias, obviously, to the bearish side. If I look at one more mode here, the sliding window mode, only 16% of the bullish searches are winners, while 58% of the bearish ones are winners. And if I close the Derby summary down, now here, let's just take a look at the searches that find at least 10 stocks. We could see that Rising RT is at the top of the list, but it only finds 1.2 stocks on average. Sector Peak Short finds 10 stocks, about 3% on average. Now this is a sliding window, which is a mode that randomizes the start and end dates. So we're looking at a 5-day holding period here. So we're essentially running a quick test from the 4th to the 10th, to the 5th to the 11th, from the 6th to the 12th, and so on. So it's taking a 5-day holding window and sliding that window forward. Another way of testing the robustness of a search. But for the most part, all of the searches that find at least 10 stocks, they're all shorts as well. I'll go back to the day trading mode. Now, this is only speculation, but it seems to me that money may be moving into a more safe haven. Take a look at the best performing bullish searches over the last 4 weeks. You have VST Rockets, Langer's Longs, VST Giants, Conservative, Stalwarts, Explosive GRT, and EPS stocks. These searches, while they're not up all that much, just about maybe 2 to 3% on average, find large cap, high growth stocks. These are stocks that investors are more comfortable holding in uncertain market conditions, such as the one that we're experiencing currently. So the real-time Derby not only provides you with the best performing searches over any given time period, it also helps in identifying the internal makeup of the market by observing the relationship between the bullish versus the bearish searches. And the real-time Derby, it is an add-on to the real-time program. So if you do have real-time and you're interested in testing out the Derby, just give our office a call and our consultants will be more than happy to set you up with a free trial to give it a test drive. So I hope everybody enjoyed tonight's presentation and learned a little something. We will be holding a Q&A webcast on Monday at noon to answer any questions that you have regarding tonight's strategy of the week. And you can register for this webcast by going to www.vectorvest.com/events, or we've also provided you with a link inside the VectorVest views to register for it as well. This concludes tonight's strategy of the week presentation. Have a great weekend, everyone.